This is SportsCenter.
Pittsburgh Steelers, amazing defense, pretty good offense. Why are they 4-5? And can the Steelers get over the hump and make it to the postseason? We'll discuss all that and more on this edition of SportsCenter. Also coming up, it was a great one. Patriots in, the Colts coming down to the very last second of the game, very last play. Coming up in a couple of days, we will see exactly how great it was. Alright everyone, welcome to this Week 10 edition of SportsCenter. We have some very interesting things to get at too, so let's get at it. Our first order of business so far in Week 10. The Dream Season standings. The Rams over in the NFC West leading 8-1, one game ahead of the San Francisco 49ers. But in this Wild Wild West, we have the Seahawks and the Cardinals trailing them both 5-4 and very much in the playoff race. Moving over to the NFC East, we have the Redskins at 6-3. One game in front of the Cowboys, but you know that's anyone's race. NFC East always a very tough rivalry. In the NFC North, the Bears one game over the Packers at 6-3. The Vikings have a shot, but at 4-5, very unlikely. Moving over to the AFC. The San Diego Chargers still in it, but third in the division behind the Raiders and the Broncos. The Chiefs 1-8, very out of the playoffs. Moving over to the AFC North, the Cleveland Browns and Baltimore Ravens both 5-4, but Browns have the edge, the head-to-head matchup. Steelers 4-5, very much in it, but really need a Week 11 victory to have any sort of chance. The AFC East, Dolphins and Bills, both 6-3, while the Patriots at 5-4, very much in it, but do need a couple of victories. That is your Week 11 preview as far as the standings are concerned. And we're going to head over to the DSFL radio where, just a quick little saying the 49ers and the Green Bay Packers are facing off Part 2 on Saturday with both teams, you know, one game behind in their respective divisions. This could be one of the greatest games of the season so far. 14-10, San Francisco over Green Bay. Now the Rams entering Week 11 with an 8-1 record and a pretty favorable opponent in the Cardinals. Are the Rams the team to beat in the NFC? My bad. NFC playoffs, or even the NFL? You know, are the St. Louis Rams the team to watch, and is St. Louis the place to be as far as the playoffs are concerned? We will take a quick break, and on the other side, we will talk about exactly, will St. Louis get first place in the division? And Wes Welker, Joe Montana, Emmett Smith. This kid is a tough football player. The best they come, man, this kid is fast. He's a guy that you have to prepare for every Sunday afternoon. In my mind, he's the greatest football player of all time. Welcome back to SportsCenter Week 10 edition, brought to you by the DSFL Top 10 Players. Make sure to tune into the list following the Week 15 highlights coming out in about, say, a month and a half. So, the topic of the week has been the St. Louis Rams. Can they get over the hump and get the NFC's top seed? Right now they have an 8-1 record and the tops record in the National Football League. So, they play the Cardinals at a 5-4 record, and really just a very favorable matchup. I mean, they should be able to really roll away with this one with Kurt Warner, Marshall Faulk, and that top 10 offense. Just too many things going the Rams' way for them to not get the first seed in the NFC. The Chicago Bears look to have the second seed pretty much wrapped up at a 7-2 mark. So now let's head over to teams that are a little more struggling so far in the playoffs. The Pittsburgh Steelers. They played a favorable opponent, the Cincinnati Bengals. First quarter, it would be Franco Harris that would get the big touchdown to make it a 30-7 victory over the Cincinnati Bengals, an AFC North rivalry to keep their playoff hopes alive at a 4-5 record. He was tight end Randy Grossman after the game. Alright everyone, I'm Randy Grossman, tight end Pittsburgh Steelers. I've been really psyched up about our recent victory over the Bengals. And in fact, the Browns beat on the Ravens, didn't really dampen our spirits. But all we're focused about is just our game. We're focused on what we have to do to make it into the playoffs. We have a big game against Kansas City next week, and we can't be looking ahead. We can't be looking at other teams. Can't be looking about what's going on next. We just have to focus on Kansas City this week, and that's been the team's focus ever since big victory over the Bengals. We will make it into the playoffs. You write that in your headlines. We will make it into the playoffs, and it's a matter of time before we can make our push for Miami in a couple of weeks. And we just got to bring number 7 home, Terry Bradshaw. Any questions? Oh, yeah.
Hey, Randy, who do you think is going to be your toughest opponent coming up?
I would have to say the 1976 Raiders. With John Madden, in the booth, along with Blitnikoff, the quarterback, Ken Stabler. You also have that pretty stiff defense with Jack Tatum and crew. It's really going to be a tough task to really just beat up on the 76 Raiders, but I think we can get it done. All right, any questions? Yeah.
Yes, Terry has been throwing plenty of interceptions lately. Are you taking measures to prevent that in the future?
Yeah, we're taking as many measures as possible to make Terry the best player as possible. The other thing is, this is November. This isn't the playoffs, this is November. By playoff time, I expect Terry to, he's a good enough quarterback. He can fix up the mistakes, make a few corrections, and, yeah, I think we'll be ready for the playoffs. So, thank you guys, and I will see you soon. See you come playoff time. Alright, so that was Randy Grossman saying that really they are ready for the playoffs. The Cleveland Browns hold a 1-game lead over them in the AFC North. Very tough matchup as far as Pittsburgh making it into the playoffs, but 4-5 record can get it done. They are still in the race for that AFC North crown, or even the playoffs as far as the wild card, but that is very unlikely considering they've already lost 5 games. For Charger Dude 95 in the studio, this is Week 10 SportsCenter. Thank you for all the video that you guys have entered. I'll look forward to the Week 10 or Week 11, highlights that are coming about in about a week. So make sure to tune in for that. So for Charger Dude 95 in the studio, catch you later.